I reverse engineered the perfect project manager. I've been working as a project manager for the last 8+ years, making hundreds of thousands of dollars doing it. And it's giving me the opportunity to work alongside some of the best project managers in the world, and also some that, quite frankly, were not that great. I also have a community of over 700 plus aspiring project managers. And when I speak to them, I can immediately tell who's going to make it as a project manager and who's unfortunately going to have to change a lot before they can actually become top 1% project managers. So in this video, I'm going to break down 5 character traits that make you the top 1% project manager in the world. The first trait that we're going to look at is being an entrepreneur. The second trait we're going to look at is having a very high sense of self-esteem and self-worth. The third trait we're going to look at is how skilled you are in the soft skills like communication and leadership and organization. The fourth trait we're going to look at is, are you able to thrive in change? And then number 5, are you someone who thinks like a project manager or acts like a project manager in your regular day-to-day life? So let's start with the first one. The perfect project manager is someone who is entrepreneurial. And entrepreneurs are known for being resourceful. They are known for being able to make magic happen with just the resources that they already have on hand. Entrepreneurs are also known for having a can-do attitude, believing that it's possible and choosing to be optimistic even when they're confronted with overwhelming challenges and even when the odds are stacked against them. Entrepreneurs are able to stay focused on the goal at hand, rally their team, and press forward to get the desired objective. And they also don't seem to have an off button. They keep going even when things don't make sense and even when they don't see the fruits of their labor. Entrepreneurs can continue to work and keep working without any positive feedback for long periods of time, and they can do this because they know that the only way they can fail is if they stop working, if they stop trying. And so the perfect project manager will be someone who, when working with a team to get a project done, keeps going even though the road ahead looks unclear and challenging. They continue to bring clarity and structure to their work, chipping away each day to make sense of everything that's going on and everything that needs to happen in order to reach their goal. Project managers keep going even when no one is praising their work, even when progress is slow or it feels like they haven't moved the project forward at all, but they keep going knowing that they trust the process. Entrepreneurs are also usually working on something of their own on the side, like building a business or starting a new product or trying to bring some kind of idea to life. They make really good project managers because they bring that same understanding of what it takes to bring their own ideas to life into the corporate world. Things like creating a plan, organizing the work, tracking the progress, and working on the highest value activities. And by working on their own ideas at home, they build a depth of execution knowledge and context that they can immediately apply to projects in the corporate world. And quick side note, you might be wondering, well, why would an entrepreneur want to work as a project manager? Wouldn't they just keep building their own thing? So I want to be very clear. What we're talking about here are the skills and traits of an entrepreneur. You could be someone who's trying to build their own thing, but you still need to earn some money on the side or in the meantime while you're working on your own projects. And so you work a day job as a project manager from 9 to 5, and then you work on your business or your side hustle from 5 to 9. So that to me is the perfect project manager, someone who's entrepreneurial. They have their own goals, they're working on their own projects, and as they're doing those things, they're learning so much about the world and how to get things done that they can apply that same knowledge into the corporate world. And this kind of setup actually works really well for both yourself as the project manager / entrepreneur and also for the company. The reason being is that as an entrepreneur, you know that you don't plan to stay in a 9 to 5 job for the rest of your life. And since all projects have an end date, it works out perfectly because you know the project is going to end and then you can continue focusing on your own personal projects or personal goals. And for the company, they receive a highly talented project managers for the duration of the project, and they're happy to have that project done and delivered on time, on budget, and on scope. The second trait of the perfect project manager is someone who has high emotional intelligence. So first, let me define what emotional intelligence is. Emotional intelligence means that you are able to perceive and understand the inner emotional state of others without having them explicitly tell you. And so in other words, you're able to read people through their tone of voice, through their body language, and through their facial expressions. And the reason this is really important is because project management is a people-focused discipline. So if you don't like working with people, if you want a job where you lock yourself in a room, you don't talk to anybody for the whole day, and you just get your work done, then project management is definitely not for you. As a project manager, you'll be working and interacting with many different people with different personalities because project managers need to influence and persuade others to move the project forward. And by being emotionally intelligent, it allows you to tailor your messaging and communication in a more nuanced way so you can get the desired result from the people that you're working with. And so within this realm of emotional intelligence, the perfect project manager also has high emotional stability, high self-esteem, and high self-confidence in themselves and in their own skills. Inevitably, you as a project manager are going to face difficulties on the project. You're going to run into difficult personalities, people who just don't like you, deliveries and timelines are going to slip, issues are going to pop up every day on your project, and not to mention all the regular day-to-day stuff in your personal life that's going to go wrong. So you as a project manager have to be someone who is very emotionally stable, and you cannot show signs of stress. You cannot show signs of losing control. You cannot show signs of losing hope on the project, because your team, they're looking up to you as a leader to come and set the tone for the project. Your team is looking to you for reassurance when things go wrong. They're looking to you, hey, can we still get this project done? Does our leader believe this project can still get done? Despite the challenges, you need to be there to reassure them. Yes, we're going to be able to continue. Yes, we're going to be able to proceed and get this done and pull through. And as their leader, you need to remain hopeful, remain unfazed, and show them that you believe in the team and that you are able to make the right decisions. So if you as a project manager can develop high self-esteem, meaning that you believe in your own skills and your own abilities, that's going to help you naturally increase your own self-confidence, and it's going to help you create a sort of a emotional barrier or a defense that will make you very emotionally stable. And when you have a high self-esteem and high self-confidence, it also means that you're not someone who's constantly looking for external validation. And this is important as a project manager, because you'll find yourself working for weeks or for months without any reward or any major breakthrough, and you may not receive any positive reinforcement for all the work that you're doing for a very long time. But when you have high self-esteem and you're highly self-confident in yourself and your abilities, you don't need that external validation to keep pushing you forward. You instinctively trust yourself and in your own abilities to keep the project moving forward. Now, the third trait that the perfect project manager has is that they've mastered the soft skills. The perfect project manager is not someone who can just tell you the definition of waterfall or agile. They're not someone who can tell you how to calculate the critical path from memory, or how to measure the planned value versus the earned value, or cost variance or schedule variance, or the critical path. All of these technical things, you can quickly search them on the internet and get the definition or formula in less than 10 seconds. But the soft skills like communication and leadership and time management and problem solving and presentation skills and building relationships, these are the skills that you cannot search and learn instantly overnight. They take months and years of development. So this is why when you're face to face with an interviewer for a project manager role, they are hands down more interested in your soft skills, because they know that these are the soft skills that are vital for success as a project manager, and that your technical skills and information can be taught on the job very quickly. Now, the fourth trait of a top 1% project manager, or the perfect project manager, is that they are someone who thrives on change, and in fact, they expect change in their life. They expect that nothing will stay the same. And think about it again, a project by its very nature is finite. It has a start date and it has an end date. And as a project manager, you know that whatever you're currently working on, whoever you're currently working with, it is all likely going to change at the end of the project. So you need to be mentally ready and prepared at all times for change, for a new project to start, which typically means that a new scope of work, new stakeholder that you're going to be working with, and new subject matter that you're going to be dealing with. So here's a quick example. When I was working at Walmart, my first project was to launch a new store, launch all of the IT and tech equipment for one new store. And so in this project, I was working with the design team, the construction team, aligning my timelines with theirs, making sure the product got delivered, making sure the equipment got delivered, like self-checkouts or the routers and Wi-Fi for the store, or the POS terminals for the store, making sure that all those stuff arrived on time and they got installed and set up and connected according to the construction and design timelines. But once I wrapped up this project, I was given a completely new project to launch Walmart Canada's online grocery infrastructure. And so this project meant I was working with different people. I was working with the network engineering team, the security team. I was working directly with all the stores to get them set up and launch their online grocery system. I was working with different vendors like Hobart and Zebra to procure all this different equipment. I was working with warehouses to store all of this equipment. I was working with logistics to get all of this equipment across 400, 500 stores all at the same time. And so the scope of work was completely different. The people I was working with was completely different. And so this was a dramatic change to the environment and the way that I had been working already for the last 4 months at Walmart. And so the best project managers know that things are going to change, that they're not going to stay the same, and they need to be ready to adapt and quickly start working with different personalities, different stakeholders, different vendors, and different types of subject matter in order to be able to successfully deliver their projects. And the fifth trait of the best project manager, or the top 1% project manager, is someone who thinks in timelines, who thinks in risks and issues, who thinks in dependencies, who thinks like a project manager in their day-to-day life. And what this could look like in the day-to-day life of a regular project manager is that when they're planning their vacation, they're comfortable working with dates in their head. They're naturally planning the logistics and the timing of the vacation and how many days they're going to spend in each city. They're doing that all in their head while discussing their plans with their spouse or their other partner. They're implementing risk control measures naturally in their everyday life. For example, they might have a social gathering coming up and they might be in charge of the food. And so they are creating risk mitigation plans to make sure that the food arrives on time. They make sure that if the first vendor messes up or is delayed, that they have a backup plan for the food so that their guests don't go hungry. This is how the project manager, the top 1% project manager, is thinking in their regular day-to-day life. And so there you have it. We just broke down the perfect project manager. We said that the perfect project manager is someone who is entrepreneurial, someone who has a high sense of self-esteem, someone who has mastered the soft skills, someone who thrives on change, and someone who thinks like a project manager in their day-to-day life. That would make a pretty good project manager, don't you think? So let me know in the comments below if you agree or if you think there's other traits that would make a top 1% project manager. And hey, if you finally want to become a project manager and gain hands-on practical project management experience, I want to invite you personally to join my community of over 700 plus aspiring project managers so you can actually start doing project management, living project management instead of just talking about it. And one last thing, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. It means a lot. And if nothing else, I'll see you on the next one.